Welcome back. Here we are again. And it's raining outside right now. So, of course, the connection is a little questionable. I titled this video, Coming in for a Landing. And it has been, for a lot of the people that I know, and maybe for you, it has been a very odd time. It has been a very tiring time. And the weather here has been very chaotic. It was really hot, and then it was really cold, and then it was kind of warm again. And that's very disorienting to the system. And the light went away. The days are getting shorter. We had daylight savings time. And so all of these things play a role. As information coming into the experience that the body is metabolizing, I don't care who you are, that's a lot of information when we're talking about all of this change, all of this unpredictability, all of this uncertainty. That's a lot for anyone to process. And at this time of year, it makes a lot of sense to me that we look at what's happening in nature. That things are going dark, things are coming down, the leaves are dying and falling, and soon enough will become worm's meat. And so there's this invitation to come in, to get cozy, to hold a little bit of distance between whatever has been going on and whatever will eventually happen. The verbiage that we developed in a session earlier this week, acknowledging that we all have this freedom of choice, this free will. You can do anything you want. You don't have to do anything right this minute. And we tried that statement on like an outfit to see how it feels. And we noticed that there felt like there was some relief in that acknowledging of permission and free will, but also in this letting off the hook that there is action required right this minute. There is no action required right this minute. You're watching a video on YouTube. You're okay. I'm recording a video on YouTube. I'm okay too. And in the same way that dropping a pebble into a still pond creates a ripple, creates a resonance, let the words, let the truth behind the words, underneath the words, impact the body and resonate. Just like those ripples, that there's an impact, there's an effect. And it's tangible, and it's visceral, and it's sensed and felt and experienced. And we digest experiences just like we digest our food, and our body brings it in and breaks it down, and tears it up, and makes decisions. What about this do I keep with me? What about this do I let go of? And those kinds of decisions are happening all the time. And so today is about coming in for a landing into that cozy space, into that space that feels like freedom, but also relief. Relief of pressure, relief of obligation and expectation. The body's winding up to offer energy into some sort of a response when the response is ready. If the response isn't ready yet, that's where we find ourselves, in that place of uncertainty, which in and of itself feels uncomfortable for a lot of us. To not know, to not have control, to not have a full explanation about whatever it is, that zone of being that things are still under construction. Don't know what it'll look like at the end. Don't know what's going to happen. What's happening right now feels confusing and in motion. And we can't necessarily always have a lot of clarity around those types of parts that are still under construction. And that's okay. Because if we try too hard to focus in on it, we grind it to a halt. That's the observer effect. So if we allow it to move and we allow these variables to circulate in our experience, in our physiology, in our life, maybe there's something else that grows out of that. At the very least, you're not trying to hold all the energy in your body indefinitely. Coming in for a landing. And just let the weather happen. And the difficulty for a lot of us is just that how do we come in for a landing when it's a storm? Because I'm not negating the storm. The storm exists. The storm is the stimuli, the stimulus of everything else in your life. Everything else that's going on with work, with relationships, with people that we deal with. Brushing our teeth at night. All of the noise, all of the movement, all of the variables, all of the information, all of the stories, and all of the hopes and goals and intentions, all of that is storming around this centralized experience all the time. So how do we come in for a landing into this centralized experience? I have some steps for you. The first thing you're going to do is you're going to find your bones. Now, we have a sense of proprioception built into our nervous system so that our brain can tell what our bones are doing. You don't have to be able to visualize to do this. You can feel them. And if you are having trouble feeling them from the inside, gently grab a hold of your arm or your collarbones or your sternum. Find your bones. Find your bones. And in your mind's eye, in your felt mind's eye, it does not have to be imagery, but we want there to be some sort of map of this inner landscape that starts off as a skeleton. And if you just have ever seen a skeleton before, even a cartoon version of one, that might help. You can also have something that's real. My big skeleton's over on that side of the room, but you can have something that's physical to orient to in that same way. So find your bones. The next step is breath. Can't quite see it from the glare. So as you are feeling your bones and as you are experiencing the three-dimensional reality of your bones, breathe and feel the elastic quality of breath inside of your bones. And on that exhale, gravity. Step 3, gravity. When we breathe in, we stretch. When we exhale, we settle. Feel the downward pull of gravity. Bones, breath, and gravity, all at the same time. And this typically takes a little bit of practice to develop, to be able to hold the 3 of those easily in a way that doesn't feel like a whole lot of work. So if it does feel like a lot of work for you right now, that's great. That means that you know what to work on. If you're like, what are we doing? This is so simple. Great. Let's go to the last thing on my list, which is quadrants. Now then, what we're doing is we're going to explore gravity by moving out of the center. So we have a front body, we have a back body, we have a left body, we have a right body. We also have an upper body and a lower body. And so we have quadrants. Right front, left behind, etc. And so while I am here in my feet, and I can tap my heels on the floor just to make sure I definitely know which way is down, feel into that gravity again, and then I can move. This is the invisible ball of my center of gravity. I still have both feet on the ground. My body is still in a straight line, and I'm just leaning from quadrant to quadrant, feeling my feet on the floor so that I can map out this sort of rotational movement. And listen to my voice. Listen to the strain of my voice. This is essentially effortless, but I am intentionally rotating on a long axis around my center of gravity, and we can do that clockwise and counterclockwise, of course. And at the same time, I'm going to stay in touch with my bones. I'm going to breathe into an elastic breath space. And I will continue to reorient to gravity continuously. Every exhale, settle into gravity. Every inhale, just feel that there is space inside of you where your breath lives that is separate from your bones, but contained by them. Containment feels really good. Containment feels like safety. Containment feels like care. Tap, tap, tap. Coming in for a landing. Whatever the storm is doing, whatever the weather is doing, let it. Find a safe place to land. And then we can start talking about what's next. If you have questions about this, if you have feedback for me, I'm easy to get in touch with. Thank you for receiving this. I'll see you next time.